All right, it's officially race week. We are 2 days out from the Outlands 50 miler taking place in Folsom, California. It is currently April 10th. It's going to be happening on the 12th this year. It's the first year that they're running it, so it's going to be an inaugural run. They're doing the 50 mile and a 50K. Doing the 50 mile myself, pretty dang excited for it. It's going to be a bit of a training run. Haven't done a 50 mile for some years now, but I've got a 200 miler coming up in June this year. So this is kind of a training run, a little bit of practicing nutrition, just getting some gear testing out there, and getting on trails again. I live in South Lake Tahoe where we get a pretty long winter. Thankfully it wasn't too bad this year, but the trails have been covered in snow for some time. So excited to get down the hill, go hit some trails, get some dirt under the feet, and release the legs a little bit. Just a little insight about the Outlands race. So it takes place in, they call it Pilot Hill. It's basically right around Folsom Lake. It's going to be mostly single track and double track trails. It sounds like it's pretty buttery smooth, so I don't think it's going to be very technical at all. They're saying about 6,100 feet of climbing in 50 miles. So when I look at the Strava profile, it looks like it's got a lot of rolling hills, not much is flat. So I would imagine it'll be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of cruisers, but really nothing too steep. So I think it'll be overall pretty runnable. My goal for this one is sub 9 hours, which will be a personal best by quite a bit. I believe my only other 50 miler, which I ran when I was pretty new to running, but I finished that in about 11.5 hours. And that to me was actually a pretty dang good time. So I've gotten a little faster since then, a little stronger, but sub 9 is going to be it's going to be pushing it for sure. So we'll see what happens there. It sounds like they're going to have a total of 7 aid stations. So it is an out and back course. So we're running out 25 miles, coming back the last 25. We'll be hitting a couple aid stations multiple times because of the out and back, obviously. It seems like the majority of the distances between aid stations, it varies quite a bit. The first aid station is about 5 miles in, but then after that, the next two are about 7 or 8 miles apart from each other. So it's decent little stretches in between, but nothing I'm honestly too nervous about. I think 7 miles is a pretty good amount of time between aid stations. Otherwise, you're just constantly hitting them, I feel like. There are 2 drop bag positions available. So you can do one at the midway point, the aid station at the halfway point, or they do allow you to grab one at, I want to say it's mile like 40 or 35. So I'm planning on doing a drop bag at the 25 mile mark, the midway point. Let's go over some of the gear that we'll be using for that. All right, so the weather for the race should be pretty mild. I think they're saying about 70s, low 70s, sunny. So pretty excited for the nice warm spring weather. The outfit we're going with is going to be the John G hat. Nice breathable, flexible bill. We're going to rock the Orion Ride button down. So first time rocking one of these, super comfortable, very breathable. They're kind of a cycling brand, but honestly it works great for running as well. And there is a little side zipper pocket right there, so I can stash any trash if I need to. Going with the old trusty Nike trail shorts. These are my favorites for races. You got a couple of little pockets in the front, got some zippered pockets on the side, a couple of large gel stash pockets right there, as well as a back zippered pocket. So lots of pockets for carrying all the goodies out there. And of course, have to go with the generic brand of toe socks. Toe socks are my favorite way of preventing blisters out there. When it comes to shoes, pretty excited to try these out. It's the Gel Excite Trail 2 by Asics. So my daily trainers are the Gel Excite 10 by Asics. It's a pair of road runners. This is the exact same shoe, but with some lugs. We got some good, I believe they're 3, maybe 3.5 mil lugs. So I've never actually worn these, but I've worn their sister for training every single day. All right, let's get into nutrition a little bit. So pre-race, we got some stroopwafels. Throw down like 2 or 3 of these right before the race. It's a good bit of carbs, a little bit of preloading for me, and some real food, so I'm not preloading with gels. At the midway point, I'm gonna have some beef jerky available. This will be a great way to, again, get some real food if needed. But as everyone knows, super high in sodium. So if I feel like I'm a little bit low on my salts, then throw down some of this and that should settle that. Here's my big bag of gels. So it's basically a mixture of Precision Fuel, SIS, Sports and Science. We got the Carbs Fuel, so a majority of pretty high carb gels. These are 50-gram gels. We got 22 for the SIS, a little bit lower, and 30 grams on the Precision Fuel. So I'll be mixing it up a little bit with what I'm throwing down. The goal is one gel every 30 minutes or so. So again, it's very different on how many grams of carbs I'm getting per, so I'll kind of base it on how my stomach's feeling, how I'm feeling, all that. Let's go ahead and get into hydration a little bit here. So I'm gonna be rocking a couple of handheld bottles. The Amphipods, these are my absolute favorites. They're 20 liters, so it holds quite a bit. 20 liters, no, 20 ounces, 20 ounces. So it holds quite a bit of fluid. I'm gonna be doing one of them with a high carb concentration, one of them with either just plain water, or if I need it, scratch electrolyte. That's gonna be pretty concentrated as well. So that's my plan with those. I will be rocking the John G Sling. Plan with this is I am gonna be using the GoPro, and so with 2 handheld water bottles, also having a GoPro, might get a little cumbersome at times. So if I need to, I can stash one of my bottles in there pretty quickly. Just rock it on the belt, and I have one hand available then for the GoPro. Or if I need to, pack some foods or gels or whatever in the bag. So versatility. As I said, GoPro, bringing a spare battery. It's gonna be a 50 miler, so anticipating plenty of footage out there. Gotta have the headsets, just a knockoff brand of AirPods, so that'll be useful for keeping my brain engaged. And then getting into our mixes here. So we've got 3 different mixes of powders. They're all different flavors. I have, let's see, watermelon and lemon are both Tailwind, and then lemon lime is going to be a different brand. I forget what brand it is at the moment. These are all 2 scoops of the Formula 369, which is non-flavored. That adds, I want to say, either 50 or 60 grams of carbs right there. And then I did 2 scoops of the Tailwind or the other electrolyte as well. So I've marked on the bags what I'm getting, but they're anywhere between 400 and, or I guess 380 to 440 calories, and about 100 to 110 grams of carbs per bag. So I'll be doing one of these in one of my bottles. That's going to last me probably hour and a half total for that bottle, and give me about 100 grams of carbs. So that'll be a good way to supplement some carbs as well. We have our electrolytes for sodium, so Scratch Energy. They are going to be doing Scratch at the aid stations for the race as well, but from what I have experienced at a lot of trail races, the electrolyte drinks are very diluted. You'll get maybe like a half scoop per water, whatever the ratio is. So this is 3 scoops per baggie. That way I can throw down a full baggie inside of a bottle, get a full 1200 milligrams of sodium, and try to replenish. Salt taps aren't really my thing. Those do sit kind of heavy on the belly and have caused some GI issues in the past. So that's why I'm sticking to the powders. And finally, we have our drop bag. So as I was saying earlier, mixture of gels. I'm also going to be putting 1 bag of my Scratch in there, as well as 2 bags of my high carb electrolyte mix. That will leave me with 1 of those on me during the run. I will preload a bottle for the race, so that's about 210, 220 grams of carbs for the first 25 miles, just in bottles. And then I haven't done the math fully, but I think we've got about 400 grams of carbs. Maybe less, maybe 300 grams of carbs total in my baggies here. So we should be fully set on nutrition. So the race starts 6 a.m. on Saturday. We have our bib pickup coming up tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. So I'll be doing my work shift, heading off the hill, going to bib pickup, snagging that, and then I will be staying with the wife's grandparents. They've got a little house kind of in between Folsom and Placerville, so I think it's about a 40-minute drive from the race start. So yeah, right now it's just kind of packing it all up, keeping the nerves down, trying to taper, not do the nervous running, and just getting extra miles when it's not needed. And yeah, I'm just super stoked. It's my second race of the year. Did a 50K January. Did a pretty happy with the results there. It was the Fort Ord 50K. Finished in about 5 hours, 22 minutes. So a little bit slower than what I'll be planning for this one, but I did fail my nutrition plan pretty poorly on that one. So that's why I've got a whole bunch of nutrition plans going on here. And mixed in with everything that I've got packed, the aid stations should have potatoes, chips, water. They're gonna have some electrolytes, kind of a mixture of food, I'd imagine. So yeah, let's get after it. I'll see you at race day.